Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about what it's like building a new home. And there are a bunch of different ways that you can build a new home, and we'll get into those and kind of what your options are and really what you can do to help the process be a little bit faster. And maybe I'll bring up a few things that you haven't quite thought about yet. So my husband and I, we built a home in 2020 is when we started, and we finished in 2021 this year. Actually in July of this year we finished, and we've learned a lot throughout the process, and I wish that I would have had these kinds of videos when we were going through the process to understand kind of what our options were and really understand what we could have not really stressed about or things that we would have wanted to change had we done things a little bit differently. Let's talk about the different ways that you can build a home. So there are generally 3 different ways that you can build a new construction home. The first is a cookie cutter home, which is what we have, and oftentimes these are master planned communities where the builder comes in and they subdivide a lot of the land into small parcels. Oftentimes these are townhomes, or what our builder liked to call cottages. They didn't have a lot of land, and then there were single family homes that had a little bit more land, but nothing that you could really, people like to call is homesteading. Nothing you could really homestead off of. We could have a garden, and we will be planting a garden come hopefully spring of next year, but we'll see. After you have those really cookie cutter homes, I think of like a half and half, which is like a semi cookie cutter home. You still go with a builder, but you choose your own land, and you choose a large amount of land, typically, or a couple of acres of land. And also this is really dependent upon where you choose to build. Some places in Washington state, I know you can build with a few acres, whereas where I live in Utah, it's not that common. And the third type of way is to build it all on your own. You are choosing your land, you are choosing your builder, you are choosing your whole entire floor plan. You do everything absolutely custom. A lot of these people that do this are their own contractors, and typically they build these magnificently beautiful homes, are on multiple acres, and are just really beautiful, and they have their own subs and are cash flowing it throughout the entire process. Let's get into the financing a little bit. I do have another video that I'm filming after this one about the financing aspect, so be sure to go ahead and check that video out if you are checking this video out after I have made that one. I'll put a little card somewhere around here to take you to that video. Financing for each of these is it goes from least complicated to most complicated with the extensiveness of the building of your home. So if you are cookie cutter, it's going to be nearly the exact same as if you were buying a used home, or if you were buying a home just off the market that wasn't new construction. And if you are doing this completely on your own as a contractor, then it will be a lot more complicated, and you'll need a lot more cash. All right, so let's talk about the first thing when it comes to buying or building a new construction home. Oftentimes this will be the land aspect of it. So you'll want to find what typical area that you want to build in, how much land you want. If you want multiple acres, you don't want to see your neighbors, you don't want to have neighbors, how close you want your home to other homes. This is a really important part, because where you decide your land and how much you want as far as land goes, you'll be able to find the spot and what town or city you want to live in. Another really important thing for us was how close we were to stores and how close we were to different things that we like to do. So for instance, when we were building, they just built a Costco in the city next to us, which was important. It's about a 10-minute drive away, but the bummer part is that while this is still a fairly new city, we don't have a Target nearby. We have to drive about 30 minutes one way to find the nearest Target, so I don't go very often anymore. Used to go a lot, but now we're saving a lot more money. If you have a job that you go into the office for, that could be also really important. We work remotely. I do YouTube as my job, and my husband works as a consultant, and he has to travel somewhat to clients that are out of state. So we are fairly close to an airport. We don't have to drive on the freeway to get to the airport, which is really nice. We're also fairly close to family. We have a cousin just around the road, who in emergencies can watch our daughter, but we also have grandparents that live about 40 minutes away. So that's it for the land aspect of it. Now let's talk about the actual structure of your home. And one thing to keep in mind is how you want to live in the space. Oftentimes builders will separate design changes and structural changes. That's how we had designated it. And so when we were designing the structure of our home, we really kept in mind how long we wanted to live in this home. We kept in mind what kinds of things we were going to do in this home and how many bedrooms we needed, and also if we wanted space to grow. Specifically for us, we were looking to homeschool our children, and so we have a space in our home that's a little loft that we can put school books in, and we can have a desk and a table and different activities we can have there. We also have on the same floor as that's the floor of all of our bedrooms, and we have the washer and dryer up here. So then if during a lesson I can go swap laundry, put a baby down for a nap, and then start laundry. We also don't have to lug laundry up and down the stairs, which is a really important thing. I hate lugging laundry up and down the stairs. Other things that we thought about when designing the structure of our home, a lot of cookie cutter homes don't do this, but many others do. The half and half version and the building this on your own is where you want the home to sit on the land. Do you want more of a front yard, or do you want more of a backyard? Do you not care? Do you want your home to sit square in the middle, or kind of to the left a little bit more, or to the right? And also think about kind of how the lighting is going to look over the land. So if you have a bunch of trees, if you want to be able to see the sunset, you may want to shift your home one way versus the other. We also thought about how we wanted our living space to look. So we have our living room and our kitchen in a open concept type of area. Look out from our kitchen when I'm cooking or whomever is cooking and see the kids playing with toys. That was really important for me to be able to see and make sure that everyone was safe and okay. It was easy to get to if someone bonked their head or something. We also wanted kind of a separate entrance spot so that kids with snowy boots or muddy boots or whatever could take their shoes off and not track all the mud into the house. And we also thought about the different levels of our home. So our entire first floor, or our main floor, is just our living area. And then we have all of our bedrooms up, and then we have an unfinished basement currently that we are planning on putting another bedroom down there, cold storage, and another living space. And we really liked how we had that separation of the living area with the bedroom area. Keeps clothes from congregating downstairs, and we can keep things separated fairly well. But if you can't do stairs, or if you plan on having someone live with you who cannot do stairs, then really it might be good to think about a rambler. Or if you want to have one bedroom on the main floor or the master bedroom on the main floor, really think about that, including in your floor plan. Other things that kind of are a little bit smaller was extra outlets and extra Ethernet. Most homes now come with Ethernet in the wall, but what we wanted was in our nursery that we was to have an outlet in the ceiling to be able to put a baby monitor up there, so we didn't have to run a wire. And it's been really, really handy, and we've really enjoyed having that. We've swapped Ethernets where we want. We've swapped a Smurf tube, which a lot of people don't know what Smurf tube is, but it's a blue tube that you can run from the floor to the middle of your wall to house cords for where you want a television to go. And we also put an outlet up there at the top in the master bedroom, and also in our living room, and also probably in our basement when we decide what we want to do with the space. And the next thing I want to talk about are the design options. One of the main things is the color of everything. We wanted most of our house to be white and kind of just start with a clean slate. So we have currently white walls, we have white cabinets, white counters, white tubs, all the light switches and everything are white. And then we can add color in as we feel necessary, as we want to keep our house a little bit more modern as the years go past. It's also fairly easy to clean and to repaint just with some white. We also chose the color of our home, so most of it is gray with touches of white, and our doors are blue, kind of a dark gray-y blue. It's really nice. One thing that we would have changed is we wish we would have known what our neighbors' colors were like, because we don't quite match with our neighbors too well. We match too well and it's a little weird. Another design thing was our floors. So how our home is set up is that we were going to have flooring throughout, or like a hard vinyl, like the type of tongue and groove sheets in our kitchen and our dining room, and then have carpet in the living room. We threw that out. We did not want that. We just put the vinyl all the way throughout that entire first floor, because kids stain carpet, and I didn't want food and carpet on the same level. I can add a rug here or there where we want it, and I do and have, and it just is nice to be able to run a robot mop every night to have it clean up. It's super easy, super simple. And then we also chose our carpeting. That's an important thing, and a lot of people have said this, is that carpet could be pretty bad, but the padding underneath, if it's a good padding, it'll feel really nice. And that's what we did. We chose the carpeting, and it was a fairly cheap carpeting, but we upgraded our pad that's underneath the carpeting to just feel a little bit nicer on our feet. And that carpeting is on our staircase and up on the second level of the home, with the exception of the 2 bathrooms that are up on the second level and the laundry room on the second level. Other things that we took into consideration were the types of handles for the door, or for the drawers, and the cabinets in the bathrooms and in the kitchen. We wanted to have the longer handles. We didn't want any knobs. It's just a little bit easier to grasp. And also we didn't, on our doors, we wanted to have the knobby kinds of things. You can see them right here. We wanted to have knobs rather than handles that we have on the cabinets, because these are really easy to put a toddler lock on, where the knob just kind of spins around. You know what I'm talking about. I'll put a picture up. We really wanted that to make our lives a lot easier. We also chose the types of doors. So we had different options between styles of doors. We went with this one. It's got 2 like long planks, and then it's kind of got a square. It's cut off. It has a square up here, and that's for everything except for our front and our back door. And I don't know, we just really like this. Oh, also, now that I'm thinking about it, we chose the framing for our doors. We could have it kind of just be like a U shape over every door, but we chose to have it kind of be like 2 T's. I'll put an overlay here if I can find it. All right, so now that we've gone through all our different options, these are some things that we have already changed, or that we're going to change, or things that we wish we would have done differently. So we already changed, I'm looking down at my computer right now, at my notes, I have an outline. We've already changed our shower heads. We had pretty low water pressure quality, and so we changed up the shower heads. We also wanted to have a detachable shower head. Home didn't come with that, and we didn't choose to upgrade to that, so we changed that. It's been a lot better. We also got a water softener, because in Utah we have hard water, and you'll get stains everywhere all over your kitchen dishes and appliances. You might get a new kitchen faucet. I don't know the current one. I miss our last one, where it was kind of long and it had the little hose that you could spray all over. This one's not quite that much. It doesn't have as much of movability. We also might add a backsplash, but we might also not. It's nice to just be able to run something over the tile over a backsplash, but that's one of those things that, one, it's easy for us to do ourselves, or fairly easy within the range of what we're willing to do. 2, I feel like backsplashes are one of the first things to go when styling a home or changing of the decades of home styling, and so we wouldn't want to do that until if and when we are prepared to sell our home. So things we wish we would have done that are a little bit harder now, or maybe what I wish we would have done. I don't know about my husband, but I would have wished to finish out the basement. We weren't quite sure what we wanted to do with the basement, and it would have been nice just to have it all done, and to roll that into the mortgage and know we have to save for it. Regardless, now that we know what we want to do with the basement, it'll be nice to have that done. I wish we would have chosen different vinyl flooring. So we just have the current vinyl flooring in the upper bathrooms and the laundry room. We currently have just kind of the rollout kind of vinyl flooring that has like wood planks printed on it. It feels really cheap, and I wish we would have gone for something different. What we might do is they have like some stick and press on vinyl tiles that are a little bit more durable. They feel better on the feet. You can get them in a bunch of different colors. I'll kind of pop something up on the screen if I can find what they look like. My parents did that in their kitchen because it's not so cold, and it just feels nicer on the feet. That's what we wish we would have done. Take it for what you will. If that's something that you wanted or didn't want, maybe. Let's talk about timeline. So whatever home building process you're going with, as you move away from the cookie cutter home, it will be a longer time and a longer process. So our home was most homes in our builder, and what they do in the master plan community is they build it in about, quick end is like 4 months. And that's what we were supposed to have, was 4 months, but it ended up taking 12 months because of COVID and different shortages. And that kind of brings me to this next point of make sure you know what kinds of shortages that may come up, different pricing of things. Some builders, unfortunately, this time of year or this season of life have increased their home prices after you've signed your contract to build because of lumber and other shortages. For our home, there was a shortage in labor, specifically for the footings, and we also had shortages for the glass for windows. And each of those, probably a total of 6 months was the delay on that, and then the labor shortage was about 2 months. Another thing is, if you are selling your home to then move into your new construction home, be sure that you know the market and know when the right time to sell your home is. We also fortunately had family that we could live with while we were building our home, so we were able to do that while we were waiting. Another quick tip, if you know what builder you're going with, if you are going for the more master plan community, then you can often get a credit for not going through a realtor. So we did not go through a realtor to find our home, and we were given about $10,000 in credits that took off our mortgage. I hope that this video was helpful for you. I'm looking at my filming and I'm at over 20 minutes right now. If you enjoyed it or you have any questions about the home building process, drop them down below and I'll try and answer them to the best of my ability. Yeah, so if you're here for finance and real estate fun stuff, then go ahead and drop a subscribe. I talk about motherhood, money, new home building, all that fun stuff. So, catch you guys in the next one. Bye.